Ah, the wonderful music of Screamin' Lehman. I love his music. This is really a fun thing to do. It's fried dumpling and it's fun. There's nothing complicated about it. As a matter of fact, I find cooking to be therapeutic. It's something that I do when I have a lot of things on my mind. If you're going to make this recipe, there are two things. There are only two ingredients really. Self-rising flour, and if you can, use whole wheat unbleached flour. I'm not a fan of bleached flour, enriched or otherwise. The other ingredient, of course, is buttermilk, and that's it. Self-rising flour and buttermilk. Anything else or everything else that you add will be optional, including the Parmesan cheese, but I will say this. Adding Parmesan cheese does do a lot to enhance the flavor. It's worth it. I happen to like scallion or green onions. I used to eat it in the Navy all the time with some salt, so I chopped up some green onions, fine, and I added to my mixture. Let's face it, cooking is fun and it is creative. If you're going to teach your kids how to cook, this is probably the perfect recipe to do it, because you can add all the dry things together and be as creative as you wish. Here I'm adding the Parmesan cheese, which I mentioned earlier. And if you're teaching your kids to cook, let them add whatever they want. If it's already cooked, the better, because this does not take very long to cook. In my case, I like green onions, scallion. Not too many people like that, but I do, so I added some scallion. Now, mix all your dry ingredients together, mix it well before you add the liquid. That was my error in making this particular thing. I just want to admit it now so that you'll know. Mix all your dry ingredients and then add the buttermilk. Okay, let me say now that this is the hardest part of the recipe. You want to add just enough buttermilk to make a dough. Now, this is the hardest part. If you know how to make a dough, fine. Once you make a dough, of course, is you want to get out maybe a tablespoonful, something like this, together. Rub it in your hands as a ball, and then squish it together like those little dumplings back there. And then you want to add them to hot oil to fry. Okay, now you want to be a good supervisor if you have little kids around a hot oil and a hot stove, okay? Let them grow up respecting hot oil and a hot stove. Once you put these little babies in to fry, you want to turn them often, but not too often, because you want to have them nice and golden brown on both sides. Once your fried dumpling is cooked thoroughly, stick a toothpick in to find out. But once it's cooked thoroughly and both sides golden brown, you're finished. It's done and you're done. All you need to do now is to enjoy.